नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. Today is a very auspicious day of appearance of Srila Prabhupada, immediately following the appearance day of Krishna. So Krishna appears in this world, but we need a pure devotee to help us connect with Krishna. Therefore the pure devotee appears immediately to reveal Krishna to the world. If Prabhupada wouldn't reveal Krishna through his books and writings, many of us born in India, we have seen movies on Krishna, we have read past names of Krishna in the past, but Krishna was not our only priority in life. Krishna was not in the center of our lives. We were worshipping so many different demigods. We were also watching cinemas. We were also doing so many other things in our life. But the seriousness with which Srila Prabhupada presented the Shuddha Bhakti path in his books, by his teachings, by his devotees, his disciples. So that's what actually have brought us to the current point of taking Diksha in Prabhupada's mission from Prabhupada's disciples and taking this mission as our life and soul. Otherwise, in India, in fact, Srila Prabhupada had a very great appreciation for South Indians. I was reading one of his room conversations. Prabhupada says that South India is not very spoiled like the other parts of India by the foreign invasion, especially the British invasion. Prabhupada says South India has maintained its sanctity, and as a proof, he quoted the example of TTD, Tirupati Devasthanam, and all the other Divya Desams, and the Sri Vaishnavas preserving the culture of Vaishnavism, even after 1,000 years after Sripad Ramanujacharya went back to Vaikuntha. So Prabhupada was saying that this Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra and Karnataka, these places are places where people are very pious, they are very religious, they are very simple-hearted, and they have a natural affinity for Krishna. And Prabhupada told his devotees that I am very keen to see that in these regions very good preaching happens and many devotees come. When Prabhupada said this, I was also thinking, in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one shloka which says that those people who drink the water of Tamarparani, they will be pure-hearted Vaishnavas and they will take to Krishna consciousness very quickly if they are given an exposure. Like that, the 11th canto verse says that. So, all of you living here in the southern zone of India, you all are naturally pious, coming to temple, bowing down before the deities, making some offerings for the deities, chanting the holy names and singing Krishna songs is very natural for all of you. At the same time, Prabhupada also was quite aware that the South India is afflicted by some dangerous diseases. What is it? One is Mayavad. You will find the Mayavad which makes even educated people think that the Bhakti path is very inferior or meant for sentimental people. And Mayavad means, we are ultimately God, we are ultimately supreme. They follow the Advaita Siddhanta. Many people, even today, educated people in the South, and they are very proud of their Vedic knowledge of the Shrutis, of the Upanishads, and their pronunciation in Sanskrit. So such people have cheated the innocent living entities of the opportunity to awaken love for Krishna. They have suppressed that love by covering up that love with the false philosophy of Mayavada. This is one great disease in South India. Even I myself come from a Shaivite family. More than 15 years I have been chanting Om Namah Shivaya and everything. And I went to more than a dozen Mayavadi organizations, read their books, was following their philosophy and completely confused and bewildered until I was given exposure to Srila Prabhupada books. When I read Prabhupada books and met Prabhupada's disciples, one of my innermost experiences I can tell you, I developed a feeling that Krishna is just very close to you. You are going to meet Krishna within a week. Like that you will feel when you read Prabhupada books. Goloka is, Bhuloka to Goloka is very easy. That kind of feeling I felt in Prabhupada's books. He made Krishna very easily available. Krishna says, Tomar, Krishna dite par, Tomara Shakati Ache. He has the ability to gift Krishna to all of us. When Prabhupada was in Chennai, there was one Veerasamy, justice, very big man, highly respectable man in society. He invited Prabhupada to his house. So he had only one problem in South India. Prabhupada says his problem was drinking coffee. Everything else he gave up. So he was telling Swamiji, I want to take Diksha from you after giving up coffee, he was telling. So in his house when Prabhupada was there with his disciples, so Veerasamy came and gave him one this size silver Krishna, almost 5-6 inches high. It must be several lakhs worth, maybe 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupees worth. It's not silver plated, fully silver. He gifted to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada kept that Krishna on the table. And the little Saraswati came, she wanted to take it. She picked it up and devotees are worried that it's a costly thing. If a child takes it, she may misplace it here and there. So they took it off and gave it to Prabhupada. And when Saraswati came to Prabhupada was holding it in the hand and moved his hand like this. And Prabhupada showed, I don't have it, he said. And Saraswati asked, show with the other hand, sir. And Prabhupada moved it like this and showed empty hand like this. He was showing like this. And then Saraswati was surprised. Oh, Prabhupada is not having it. Then she started bursting into tears, weeping. And one devotee asked, Saraswati, who has Krishna? He asked the question. And she was moving from one devotee to another, catching their hands to check whether anybody else took it. As soon as he asked the question, who has Krishna? Immediately Saraswati turned to Prabhupada and ran to Prabhupada immediately. She was confident that Prabhupada only has Krishna. And Prabhupada also gave her that doll for some time to play with her. And Saraswati wiped her tears and she became very happy. His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj writes this pastime, teaching us 2 lessons. One lesson he says, only a pure devotee can gift Krishna to you. And another thing he taught was, unless you shed tears of separation from Krishna, you cannot get Krishna. Saraswati had to literally cry to get Krishna. So unless we go an extra mile in our spiritual life, there has to be a pinch in spiritual life. Even in companies also you will see you don't get promotion very easily. Those who take a pinch, go an extra mile, they get promotion generally. In the path of bhakti also, if we really want to advance, just chanting 16 rounds and visiting temple once a week and rest of the time doing our family duties of raising the children and getting the daughter married and getting son settled abroad. Many people think I am a good pious Hindu. I am doing all these things very well. And my chanting is over for the day. And once a week I will take darshan of the Lord. In this way I will, at the end of my life, a Goloka vehicle will come and take me back to Godhead. People generally think like that. Actually in Krishna consciousness, one has to feel Krishna consciousness, and for us to feel, we have to take the mission of Srila Prabhupada very seriously, as Gurudev Prabhu very beautifully pointed out. So Prabhupada was very desperate in South that the message of Krishna consciousness be reached to nook and corner of South India, but it hasn't happened the way that Prabhupada has dreamt. In fact, even in 1976, Prabhupada said, the Indians are not yet understanding my movement as much as the Westerners have understood and surrendered to the movement. Actually, Westerners had no problem about demigods or God and all that. They had faith in Prabhupada and they surrendered very quickly, very easily. Whereas Prabhupada said, Indians are caught up in the hodgepodge of different types of philosophies. which are like a disease afflicting the religious people, pious people also. There are pious Hindus in South India who worship human beings to be God. I don't want to mention any name, but there are people who keep photos of some human beings in their altar and call him as Bhagavan. They call him as God. And they are also chanting their names in relation to Vishnu Sahasranam. Similarly, they have made a Sahasranam for such people also. Actually, it's a shame that Brahmanas born in South India, born in Iyer families, Iyengar families, they are very proud of sending their children abroad and they are worshipping human being to be a Bhagavan. What a shame. Actually, think about our ancestors who were faithfully worshipping Bhagavan on their altars like Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna. But now down the line, if you see, the families have become degraded like that. And materialism has crept in. And the materialism has eaten up their spiritual tendencies, making them accept the false presentations of so-called bogus incarnations. So one is the Mayavad philosophy, another one is the bogus incarnations, and the third one is the materialism, which arises from false confidence in the so-called gifts of science and technology and medicine. Science, technology, medicine has given some so-called gifts after being pampered, which even the pious Hindus have started thinking that life is not all that bad. It's quite pretty wonderful. So, therefore, nowadays, the signs of success in society means, my children are educated in Oxford and Cambridge, and I have a big business, and I have such a big bank balance, and I am a pious Hindu. I go to Tirupati once a year, to ring the bell. So, this kind of typical piety, South India has robbed the spiritual tendency of the pure spirit soul. So what is our task that lies ahead of us? It's a very challenging task that sometimes you can even take a suffering atheist and turn him into a devotee. But a pious materialist who, due to his piety, is quite somewhat comfortable and complacent, he thinks life is not all that bad. Along with the contaminations of Mayavad and materialism and bogus human incarnations and all these things, they are so afflicted and attached to these false presentations of spirituality. Adding to this, one more fourth thing you can add. Nowadays, many spiritual organizations have come up in the name of spiritual organization, but they are presenting how to keep a very healthy body with yoga and exercises and pranayama and go on with your sense gratification program. This is another fourth thing. One is direct materialism and atheism. Another one is spirituality without God. This is another one. Then there is Mayavad and the false incarnations. So these are all afflicting South India. And this is on one hand. On the other hand, the majority of the poverty-stricken are being converted to follow a religion where they can smoke, they can drink, they can do whatever they want. And they by nature get into such a low-class habits in the name of having become a converted practitioner. So it's a great curse on South India, these kind of diseases that have contracted South India. So I have told you the positives of South India, what Srila Prabhupada glorified. I have also told you the diseases that have contracted us. Just like a viral fever comes in the body, you have to take antibiotics and you destroy the viral fever and become healthy. Similarly, this ISKCON movement has come as the medicine. Srila Prabhupada has started this ISKCON in Hyderabad. Here, it is actually a Baba Aushadhi. Baba Aushadat Shrotra Mano Viramat. So Prabhupada has brought the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all his literature. So one of the greatest tasks that Hyderabad congregation should take up is not to remain in the programs that we do in the temple, but go out of the way to all the 28 districts of Telangana. In each district, there should be a representation of Prabhupada's movement. In each one of the villages of those districts, people should see some devotees with tilak, kantimala chanting. And Prabhupada's book should reach each of those districts. So, in that sense, we have abundant challenges ahead of us. And what we have done is we are just scratching the surface of Hyderabad. We haven't done much, honestly speaking. Although we are very delighted and happy to see big number of devotees coming for festivals. Otherwise, every one of you sitting here who is initiated devotee in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, your very fact that you got initiated shows that you are a committed devotee. And from the educational setting that Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu instituted here many years ago, nobody gets initiation or Bhakti Shastri so easily in this temple. They will take 5 years, after which only they were sent. So devotees are made very strong in spiritual life before they were given initiation. That means every initiated devotee in Hyderabad is a very special devotee. After several years of training. Now we have taken the training. Now it is our duty to give out the training. So I will quote one example of Prabhupada and conclude my talk. Prabhupada said, a devotee should be like a cow, he said. Cow means cow swallows the cud. Because cow has got 6 bellies inside. So it swallows the cud and brings it out and then ruminates. Again it swallows, again ruminates, again swallows. So by ruminating repeatedly, it makes it completely digested. Similarly, Prabhupada said, like a cow, devotees should hear the lectures, read his books, and swallow the divine wisdom, and then contemplate on what they have read, contemplate on what they have heard. And thirdly, the cow gives milk. Similarly, Prabhupada said, devotees should preach. So we should do Shravanam, then Mananam, then Prachar. That is the third thing that everybody should do. So tomorrow if you ask in Hyderabad temple, what is every initiated devotee doing? Every initiated devotee should say, monthly I distributed this many books, and monthly I have done these 4 programs. Weekly once I have done a program. I am doing a Bhakti Vriksha in my own colony. Either Matajis are doing for children or girls, and families may be doing for other grihasthas. Young boys may join IYS, ISKCON Youth Services, and they may also preach to the college youth. Srila Prabhupada ki. So in this way, each of us have our own area to focus on, and we hope that in the coming year, we will be able to offer Prabhupada something very wonderful, more than what we are currently doing. Even currently, many good things are happening. Yesterday, I went to the stalls to see what all are displayed and who is doing what. So it was very thrilling to watch such a great variety of things being sold, both eatables, prasadam, and also many deity paraphernalia, and also Prabhupada's books, and also many preaching stalls. So in the last 1 year, certainly girls preaching, boys preaching, and our children Sunday school have been very nicely blossoming. And we had the COVID for a couple of years, so the temple was not open. Now the COVID is open, and all devotees coming on Sunday are finding it overwhelmingly loaded here at the temple, which is a good sign. Now, when we expand to other places also, all around Hyderabad is a beautiful city. All the working people are coming to Hyderabad for jobs. We have a very, very great scope. So, we hope that every one of you wonderful devotees sitting here, either you are 16 pounder or initiated devotee or serious devotee, we hope and pray that you will do something very wonderful in the year to come, and especially the 2 great souls we heard from now. His grace Anandamaya Prabhu and His grace Gurudev Prabhu, their hearts are so soft and welling up with tears of gratitude for Srila Prabhupada. So at their lotus feet we will beg their blessings, that they bless us and empower us so that we can do something more wonderful in the year to come. Thank you.